Thank you for joining us today on the road to recovery. I'm your host, Ronda Jackson, serial entrepreneur and small business advocate. And today, if you own a hotel, if you're a barber, an esthetician, own a beauty salon, or an auto dealership, then today's conversation is really going to be important for businesses like yours. Our guest today is Denise Boroff from Nisi Business Solutions. She's
Hello.
the business solution consultant, is joining us today. So welcome, Denise.
Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for allowing me to be on your show today. I appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. We're looking for your expertise right about now. We need a little help and
Okay.
assistance in navigating the road to recovery. And you and I have discussed some really special nuggets of information for especially the smaller businesses that are very
Yes.
impactful. Yeah, true enough. So one of the things that I would love for the guests to do is to just give in one word, if they were to describe a word for the situation we're in, whether it's the look ahead or where we are today, what would your one word be?
You know, I say it's strange
Yeah.
because I don't ever remember in my lifetime where the whole, not only the United States, but every country in the world is affected in the
Mm,
same way.
yeah. Yes.
So it is strange when I feel like sometimes I'm sitting and watching a movie and I'm not part of it because every day things change. And what's happening is that you're always having to rethink your plan
Yes, yes. And that's
because
the urgency of doing and posting this information sessions on a daily basis, because the
Mhm.
information does keep changing. But what I've
Yes.
really valued about our conversation is you had some really strategic things that we can do. And for example, one of them was in the area of our budget, right? Do you
Yes.
mind sharing, or let's start the conversation with you sharing about what we can do over the next 90 days with our budget that would be impactful?
What I would always tell someone to do is pretty much what I'm doing as well, is really looking at a long-term situation and determining what you can take advantage of. If you are looking at a situation where you can defer some payments, then by all means, defer as many payments as you can. Keeping in mind that they are going to come due, so it's not like they're forgiven, but it still gives you some working capital to hold on to, because as things develop, more opportunities will come up. And if you have the cash to move forward with that opportunity, it will produce the money that you need when the time comes 60 to 90 days from now, where you need to pay some bills, you'll have that money. So it can be anything from, if you're looking at you're paying rent on a building that you're not there right now. If they offer deferment, then do it. If you're paying for utilities and they offer some type of break, take them. You know, anything that you can take advantage of that's available to you to make sure that you have cash, because as they say, cash is king, then you want to make sure that you take advantage of those. So that would be the first step.
Okay, so creating some additional income
Mhm.
pools, I guess, if you will,
Yes,
out of what you have existing, right? Out of
correct, correct.
existing. And then, are there other finance opportunities that are available to us? Maybe aside from hitting the lottery, are there aside from hitting the lottery today? Are there other opportunities that we can take advantage of that would put cash in our pockets within the next 60 to 90 days?
When I think about tax, most people, when they think about taxes, they're thinking July 15th, okay, I pay my taxes. I haven't even done much with 19, so I'm not even thinking about that. But there are incentives that you paid into all the way back to 2014. Those monies, up to 100% of those monies are available to you, where you can take the opportunity to go back and pull in all of those overpaid taxes and get those funds into your pocket now within the 60 to 90 days. It's even set up where, say, your pay of employees, you laid them off, but you did put into that fund that you put aside for payroll taxes. That money is sitting there to be given to the IRS. Once we walk through the process, we realize that there's a savings. There might be 20 or 30 or 15 or $5,000 sitting there that you can now actually tell the well, send it back to me, because now you've done paperwork where those money is yours now. If
Right.
you're sitting on 5 to 10,000, and then you're looking at these loan processes, in the meantime, your other parts of the tax incentives are starting to come in. By the time you get that loan and the 6 months comes to pay it back, even if the business is not up and running because everyone's not back at work, so your clientele is still a little slow, you have some funds that you got from the IRS or with other workers' comp and all these other entities that we look at, and it's sitting there to help carry you along until you get to the point where now you are paying these bills from the money that's coming in versus having to take what's coming in, hold back, holding your employees, pay back, and still not grow.
Okay, so let me understand. So
Mm-hmm.
you're saying that my business revenues and tax filings, all as far back as 2014, your company reviews them and looks for places where we either may not have taken advantage of incentives or that we have overpaid in categories that we could otherwise now claim and receive that money in the form of a check in
That's
reimbursement,
correct. That's correct. In the form of a
cash in
check.
bank. Okay, and so as far is this a limit to how long or how many times we can do this?
You go back to all the way to 2014, and then going forward, it's every year.
Okay, and then annually we would be on a similar plan. Okay, so
Annually.
now
Mm-hmm.
here you've piqued my interest, so I'm going to ask, if you don't mind, if a person specifically wanted to take advantage of this incentive and maybe have someone from your team review previous tax returns for missed monies or disbursements that are available for them, they would go to your website or send you an email. What would be the best way to connect with you?
The best way to be would actually send me an email, and that would be at neci.insurance@gmail.com. That's necie.insurance@gmail.com. And that way I would be able to contact them and actually run through what we call a presentation pro software. That software takes about 5 to 10 minutes. I ask them a couple questions. I'll ask them questions about, do they own the property? Did they pay, how much taxes they paid? If they didn't, did they do a lease? When they leased it, how much it cost them to build it out to their specifications? Do they have workers' comp? How much are they paying? Do they take credit cards? How much are they paying? Waste management, how much are you paying? How many employees do you hire a year? All of those little simple questions. And then at the end of that survey, the information will be there, how much of their tax incentives they can get. From that point, then what we do is we go ahead and set up a call with a representative from the company that I work with, that it will be the person who will be compiling all the information. They will ask them pretty much the same questions to make sure that they understood what we went through over the phone earlier. And then we will start the process of collecting documents and getting those funds in their hands.
Okay, and again, this is over revenue that I've previously earned and paid taxes
Correct.
on, or just, so my normal business operations right now is a virtual savings account, let me call it, of opportunity
Yes.
funds that may be available to me in this time.
Correct. In
Okay.
this time, because even though they're not up and running now, we're looking at last year all the way back to 2014. So most people think, well, I don't even have employees now. Believe it or not, when you hire back those employees, those work opportunity credits are available to you now again.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. So that's wonderful. So there's some hidden money out there. There's
Yes.
my new 90-day budget. And what I love about this conversation is it's actionable. I won't call it that we have a lot of free time. To me, it gives me something to do instead of worry. Right?
Yes. Yes.
It gives me a proactive plan that I can start implementing and feel like, and I can start seeing, setting some milestones and some destinations, along my road to recovery. You and I were joking earlier that our first exit on the road to recovery is going to be a hair salon.
Hair salon.
So, hello. Well, speaking of hair salons and the other business types that we mentioned before, the auto dealerships, are there any ways that we could start thinking about the future? Are there any creative ways or ways that we can start thinking about, a plan for the future?
Well, when I think about hair salons, barbershops, when it comes to personal care type businesses, they're hardest hit because their product is a little different than I'm selling widgets online. So there's ways where you can set up where, say, you have your client base, and most people know their clients well. So the person who does my nails, if she says to me, hey, why don't we do something, you can pay in advance, and then for the services that you're going to use, and then when we open up, you have first opportunity to get the appointments. It's like I am now considered VIP, so to speak.
Absolutely.
I've paid, got a certificate or gift certificate, or maybe subscribed to something where now when they reopen, I'm not standing in line with all the new people that are going to show up. I have priority. And as I would do that immediately myself, because I know that when she opens up, it's just going to be a plethora of people that are trying to get in. I mean, even the last day, we were there like the very last day, and they were calling us in one by one because they couldn't had the 6 foot difference,
Right.
and trying to get you in before, it shut down. It was like, rush, rush. And she's done things like if someone said, hey, I need to take these nails off, she'll go, okay, I'll leave something in the front door at the shop and you go by at this time and get the acetone, or you get that, or, asking questions. But that would be one way to do it, by offering your current clients something they can prepay in advance. And then that way there's income for you. And at the same time, your clients are going to come back to you because they have something tied. They have an obligation to come back to you. And more than likely, they'll think of multiple services, especially if you say, I'll give you a discount. So now you have multiple services. When you open up, your client base is there. You're not waiting for them to show up.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a little income coming in because they're prepaying.
Okay, so we're going to think out of the box. We're going to package
Mm-hmm.
our services and
Mm-hmm.
incentivize our current customers, and maybe
Yes.
even market and attract some new customers because of those.
Correct.
Offers.
At the same
Okay.
time, yes.
That's a beautiful thing. I really like that. I'm going to call that one to grow on.
Mm-hmm. One to grow on.
Yeah, one to grow on. I mean, I like the way that America has responded to change. I
Yes.
feel like it has really brought the aptitude and the possibility in our country to the forefront, right? One of
Mm-hmm.
I think, at one time the word innovation was going around, and most of it applied to like digital services and IT and things like that. But I feel like the genius, the inner genius and the innovation within us all is really coming out. And so to have, your thought-provoking conversation and
Mm-hmm.
tidbits and things that we don't necessarily have access to informationally is really going to be of value in our community, and communities that tap into us as a resource. So again, thank you.
And when I think about innovation, like the automobile industry, I used to work for Ford Motors on the assembly line, so I know what it looks like to be out there and putting out 52 cars an hour then and complete it. For them to go in and completely revamp and make breathing apparatuses for the hospitals.
Yes.
And then the people that are doing T-shirts, who's buying T-shirts, okay, we have cloth, revamp our product so that now we can make face masks.
Mm-hmm.
Even the person who does my nails is making face masks. When they first said face masks, within a day, you had people standing on the corner and making face masks. And some people called in and said, hey, these people are here selling face masks. Is it safe? And I remember Mayor Garcetti saying, yeah, get you one and wash it and keep going, because they they saw the opportunity to go into, and it is an opportunity. It's not that they're trying to capitalize, it is an opportunity.
There's a
And
need.
so when you look at your business, think of ways that you can do something similar or different to the point where it is bringing you in income, and at the same time you're helping the economy. I know the first couple of months, you in shock because you've had to shut down, but now's the time to really dig into your inner self and find out, what other talent do I have that I can offer out there that will bring me money, but at the same time will allow me to start breathing a little better because I have that income coming in. Plus you're helping people at the same time.
Exactly.
And you'd be surprised when you wake up in the morning. That's when I always tell people, when I wake up in the morning, I'm in the shower, that's when I get those best ideas. In the shower, I don't have a pen and pencil, so I keep one near the bed just in case.
To write those ideas down. Well, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for all those great, amazing ideas, Denise. I really, really appreciate you being here. And we hope that you'll return, because the road is not over. We're hardly near the end. And then once we've implemented a few of the things that you have suggested for us, we hope that you can return with the conversation on what to do next with the different found monies and opportunities that you've helped us create today.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Well, thank you.
Alrighty.
Thank you very much for your time. All right. And we hope that you'll join us again on the road to recovery with me, your host, Ronda Jackson, serial entrepreneur and small business advocate. Thanks for being here today.